probability, and number 3, some applications. Dear students, so we start from the rules of probability. First of all, we see rule number 1. The probability of an event E, denoted by PE, is a real number between 0 and 1, both inclusive. That is, the probability of event E is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. So, probability always lies between 0 and 1. Rule number 2. If probability of E represents that an event E will occur, then probability that event E will not occur is given by probability of E complement, and it is given by probability of E complement is equal to 1 minus probability of E. That is, probability of E complement will be the difference from 1 minus the probability of occurring of that event. Dear students, rule number 3. If the events E1 and E2 are mutually exclusive, then the probability that either event E will occur or event E2 will occur is given by probability of E1 union E2 is equal to probability of E1 plus probability of E2. Dear students, rule number 4. More generally, if the events are E1, E2 up till so on En are mutually exclusive, then the probability that event E1 or E2 or up till En will occur is given by probability E1 union E2 union so on up till En. So this is equal to probability of E1 plus probability of E2 plus up till so on, you get probability En. Rule number 5. If E1 and E2 are two events, not necessarily mutually exclusive, then the probability that either event E1 will occur or event E2 will occur or both E1 and E2 will occur is given by probability of E1 union E2 is equal to probability of E1 plus probability of E2 minus probability of E1 intersection E2. Dear students, now we explain the difference between rule 3 and 5 with the help of a Venn diagram. Dear students, look at the following Venn diagram where we have the probability of the whole sample space is 1, probability of E1 is given in the circle shaded area. Similarly, probability of the event E2 given in the second circle shaded area. Then probability of E1 union E2 is equal to probability of E1 plus probability of E2. Here we assume that the shaded area in the Venn diagram represents the probability. So area of the whole sample space is taken as 1 and the area of probability of E1 will be the fraction of 1. Similarly, the area of probability of E2 will be another fraction of 1. Dear students, similarly, if we look at the Venn diagram for the rule number 5, then you can see here the probability of the sample space is also 1 as we have in rule number 3, but the probability of event E1 and the probability of E2 are two shaded areas having some common area. So this common area is represented by probability of E1 intersection E2. Therefore, probability of E1 union E2 is equal to probability of E1 plus probability of E2 minus probability of E1 intersection E2. Dear students, now we look at an example. For example, fire protection. The given table below shows the number of fire alarms put in 1 hour on a given day in Fire Brigade Office, Islamabad. The analysts have estimated the corresponding probabilities of the different number of alarms pulled per hour, which is shown in the second column of the table. What will be the probability that more than 8 alarms will be pulled? Number 2, between 8 to 10 alarms will be pulled, including both 8 and 10, and no more than 8 alarms will be pulled. Dear students, look at the table where we have the data for the number of alarms pulled is denoted by N and the corresponding probability is denoted by Pn. For example, fewer than 8 alarms will be pulled, the probability is 0.16. Exactly 8 alarms will be pulled, probability will be 0.20. Exactly 9 alarms will be pulled, the probability will be 0.24. Exactly 10 alarms will be pulled, the probability will be 0.28. More than 10 alarms will be pulled, the probability is 0.12. Dear students, now we solve the first part. The events corresponding to more than 8 alarms include 9 alarms, 10 alarms, and more than 10 alarms. These three events are mutually exclusive. Therefore, by applying rule number 4, we get that probability that more than 8 alarms is equal to probability of 9 alarms plus probability of 10 alarms plus probability of more than 10 alarms. So, probability of more than 8 alarms is equal to 0.24 plus 0.28 plus 0.12. So, it will be 0.64. So, it means that the probability that more than 8 alarms will be pulled is 64%. Dear students, now we come to the second part. Here the required events include 8 alarms, 9 alarms and 10 alarms exactly. These three events are mutually exclusive. So again we apply rule number 4. The probability between 8 and 10 alarms both inclusive will be equal to probability of 8 alarms plus probability of 9 alarms and plus probability of 10 alarms. So this will be equal to 0.20 plus 0.24 plus 0.28. So it is equal to 0.72. Dear students, now coming to the third part, if the event corresponding to no more than 8 alarms pulled is denoted by E, then the event more than 8 alarms pulled we calculate in part A will be its complement and it will be denoted by E complement. So we can use here rule number 2, that is probability of E is equal to 1 minus probability of E complement. So students, probability that no more than 8 alarms will be equal to 1 minus probability that more than 8 alarms. And since probability of more than 8 alarms we have already calculated, so we use it here in this part. So we get 1 minus 0.64 and it will be equal to 0.36. So there are 36% chances that no more than 8 alarms are pulled. Dear students, now we see another example. A card is drawn at random from a well shuffled deck of cards. What is the probability that the card will be a king or jack, a face card, a7 or a spade, a face card or a card from a red suit? Now we solve it one by one. In the first part, since the selection of king and the selection of jack are two mutually exclusive events, so probability of king union jack is equal to probability of king plus probability of jack. Now probability of king, as you know, is there are 4 kings, so we have 4 over 52. Similarly, we have 4 jacks, so probability of jack is 4 over 52, so we get 8 by 52, that is 2 by 13. In the second part, face card means king, queen or jack of any suit. Therefore, probability of face card will be 12 divided by 52. Since we have total 12 face cards, so it is given by 3 by 30. Dear students, now for part C, the events of selecting A7 and selecting a spade card are not mutually exclusive, so we have to apply rule number 5. Probability of 7 union spade card is equal to probability of 7 plus probability of spade card minus probability of 7 and spade card. Now this will be equal to probability of 7 is, there are 4 sevens, so it is 4 over 52. Similarly, there are 13 spade cards, so probability will be 13 over 52, and minus probability of 7 and spade card means 7 of spades. So it is only 1, therefore it will be equal to 1 over 52. So we get 4 over 52 plus 13 over 52 minus 1 over 52. So that is 16 over 52 or 4 by 13. Dear students, now we solve part 4. The event of selecting a face card and selecting a card from the red suit are again not mutually exclusive. So again we have to apply rule number 5. So probability of face union red suit is equal to probability of face plus probability of red suit minus probability of face and red suit. So this is equal to probability of face plus probability of red suit and minus probability of face card of red suit. Since there are 12 face cards, so the first will be 12 over 52. Since there are 26 red suits, so it will be 26 over 52 minus face card of red suits are 6, so minus 6 over 52. So we get 36 over 52, that is equal to 9 by 13. Dear students, now we define dependent and independent events. First of all, independent events. Two events are called independent events if the occurrence or non-occurrence of one event doesn't affect the occurrence or non-occurrence of the other event. For example, flipping a fair coin is an example of independent events because the occurrence of head does not affect the occurrence of a tail in the next trial. Similarly, if we draw a card from the deck of cards, then the probability of selecting card remains the same if we replace the selected card back in the deck. That is, probability of selecting a red card stays 26 by 52, that is 1 by 2, as long as we replace the drawn card back in the deck. Dear students, now we define marginal probability. The simple probability of an event is called marginal probability, but sometimes we are interested in the combination of events. For example, we toss a coin 3 times and we are interested to get 3 heads in succession. Then we define joint probability. The probability of a joint occurrence of 2 or more events is called joint probability. And dear students, coming back to the rules, rule number 6. The joint probability of 2 independent events occurring in succession is equal to the product of their marginal probabilities. That is, we can write probability of E1 intersection E2 is equal to probability of E1 into probability of E2. Rule number 7. The joint probability of n independent events occurring in succession is equal to the product of their marginal probabilities. That is, we can write probability of E1 intersection E2 intersection so on up till En is equal to probability of E1 into probability of E2 into so on up till probability of En. Dear students, consider another example. A coin is tossed such that probability of head is 0.45 and probability of tail is 0.55. Construct a probability tree showing all possible outcomes if the coin is tossed 3 times. Also, what is the probability of getting number 1, 2 tails in 3 tosses, at least 1 head in 3 tosses. Dear students, look at the following diagram, probability tree diagram for coin toss. So we have 3 tosses. We have a coin and we have tossed it 3 times and we record the observations. So in the first column we have 1 coin. In the second column we have 2 choices. First, the probability of head is 0.45. The probability of tail is 0.55. And similarly, we go to the next column. We have again 2 options. Probability of head and head will be 0.45 multiplied by 0.45. And probability of head and tail will be 0.45 multiplied by 0.55. Similarly, for the second, probability of tail head will be 0.55 multiplied by 0.45 and probability of tail and tail will be 0.55 multiplied by 0.55. Dear students, we can continue in the similar way to the 4th column and again we have 8 options. So all these 8 options are drawn here, which are for HHH, for head head tail, for head tail head, for head tail tail, for tail head head, for tail head tail, and for tail tail head, and the last is for all the 3 tails. Dear students, now from these informations we can see that to find the probability of two tails in the tree tosses, if we look into the last column in the tree diagram, then we see that 4th, 6th and 7th circle, which consists of H1, T2, T3 and T1, H2, T3 and T1, T2, H3, contain exactly two tails. So our required probability will be the sum of these three probabilities, and it is given by 0.1361 plus 0.1361 plus 0.1361. So it is 0.4083. So this is the probability for part A. Dear students, now for part B. Similarly, if we look into the last column, we can see that except the last circle, which consists of all the three tails T1, T2 and T3, all other contain at least one head. So our required probability will be given by 1 minus the probability of T1, T2 and T3. So it is given by 1 minus 0.1664. So it is 0.8336. Dear students, now we define conditional probability. It is represented as probability of E1 such that E2. It is called the conditional probability of event E1 given that event E2 has occurred. Now we discuss conditional probability for independent and dependent events, and it is given in the form of Rule 8. Suppose that we have two independent events E1 and E2, then the conditional probability of event E1 given that event E2 has occurred is the marginal probability of E1, and it is represented as probability of E1 such that E2. Dear students, consider the following example. The conditional probability of getting 6 on the roll of a die given that no 6 has occurred in the last 50 rolls is equal to 1 by 6. Which is same as getting 6 on the first roll of a die. Dear students, now we define dependent events. Two events are called dependent if the probability of occurrence or non-occurrence of one event is affected by the occurrence or non-occurrence of the other event. For example, suppose we have an urn containing balls of different colors. We want to find the probability of getting a red ball at random from the urn. For the first time we take a ball, whether it is red ball or not, if we don't replace it, then in the next time the probability of getting a red ball is different from the previous time probability because the count has been changed now. Dear students, now see rule number 9. The conditional probability of event E1 is given that E2 has occurred is given by probability of E1 such that E2 is equal to probability of E1 intersection E2 divided by probability of E2. Dear students, now look at the following example. A large jar contains 8 red balls, 6 yellow balls and 6 blue balls. 2 balls are to be selected at random from the jar. Assume that each ball in the jar has an equal chance of being selected and that the first ball selected is not replaced back into the jar. Then, what is the probability that the first ball will be red and second yellow? Question number 2. What is the probability that both balls will be blue? Question number 3. What is the probability that neither will be red? Dear students, we solve part A. Selection of balls from the jar without replacement are the events which are dependent. So we use rule number 9 in the following form. Probability of R1 intersection Y2. It means that probability that the first ball is red and the second ball is yellow is equal to probability of Y2 such that R1 times probability of R1. Dear students, here R1 is the event that the first ball is red, and similarly Y2 is the event then the second ball is yellow. So we get that probability of R1 intersection Y2 is equal to 6 by 19 multiplied by 8 by 20. So it is equal to 48 by 380, that is 12 by 90%. 5. Now going back to part B. Let B1 be the event that the first ball is blue and B2 be the event that the second ball is also blue. So again we use rule number 9. So we get probability of B1 intersection B2 is equal to probability of B2 such that B1 into probability of B1. Now probability of B2 such that B1 is 5 by 19 and probability of B1 is 6 by 20. So it will be 30 by 380. So it will be 3 by 38. Dear students, for part C, let R1 complement be the event that the first ball is not red and R2 complement be the event that the second ball is not red. So again we use rule number 9 and we get probability of R1 complement intersection R2 complement is equal to probability of R2 complement such that R1 complement times probability of R1 complement. So it is equal to 11 by 19 multiplied by 12 by 20. So it is 132 by 380, which is 33 divided by 95. Dear students, now we see another example. Suppose that cards are selected at random without replacement from a standard 52 cards deck. Determine the probability that the first two cards are hearts, the first is a spade, the second is a club, and the third is a heart, and the fourth is a diamond. Part C, 3 aces are selected in a row, and part 4 is no aces are selected in the first 4 cards. Now we solve it. The part A. Let H1 be the event that the first card is heart and H2 be the event that the second card is also heart. Dear students, then probability of H1 intersection H2 is equal to probability of H2 such that H1 times probability of H1, that is 12 by 51 multiplied by probability of head 1 multiplied by probability of first heart, which is 13 by 52. So it will be equal to 3 by 51, that is 1 by 17. Dear students, now we come back to part B. Here we have to find the probability that probability of S1 intersection C2 intersection H3 and intersection D4. So first we calculate probability of S1 intersection C2. It is given by probability of C2 such that S1 times probability of S1, which is 13 by 204. Dear students, after that we calculate probability of S1 intersection C2 intersection H3, which is equal to probability of H3 such that S1 intersection C2, which we have already calculated, times probability of S1 intersection C2. So we putting the values, we get 169 over 10200. Therefore, in the last step, we can calculate probability of S1 intersection C2 intersection H3 intersection D4, and it is given by probability of D4 such that S1 intersection C2 intersection H3 times probability of S1 intersection C2 intersection H3. So putting the values of the first probability, which is 13 by 49, times the second probability, which is 169 over 10200, we get 2197 divided by 499,800. Dear students, coming back to part 3, here we have to find the probability of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3, that all the 3 cards are aces. First we calculate probability of A1 intersection A2, and this is given by probability that A2 such that A1 times probability of A1. So for first probability is 3 by 51 and the second probability is 4 by 52. Therefore we get 1 over 221. And after that we can calculate now probability of A1 intersection A2 intersection A3, and it is given by probability of A3 such that A1 intersection A2 times probability of A1 intersection A2, and this is given by 2 by 20, and it is equal to 2 by 50 multiplied by 1 over 221. So it will be 1 over 5525. Dear students, For the last part, let we denote A1 complement be the event that the first card is not ace, A2 complement be the event that the second card is not ace, and A3 complement be the event that the third card is not ace. Then first we calculate probability of A1 complement intersection A2 complement, and it is given by probability of A2 complement such that A1 complement times probability of A1 complement. Now the first probability is 38 over 51 times, and the second probability is 39 over 52. Therefore we get 57 over 102, that is 19 over 34. Dear students, so using it we can calculate now probability of A1 complement intersection A2 complement intersection A3 complement. It is given by probability of A3 complement such that A1 complement intersection A2 complement times probability of A1 complement intersection A2 complement, and it is given by 37 over 50 multiplied by the second probability, which is given by